I mean, there will be operating.
He wants to explain.
Operating costs, probably the expert. But during the ownership of anything with Tier 4 final, yeah, you'll have to do some periodic maintenance, and that comes with an operating expense. But you explain it better.
One of the things that we're starting to see, and we haven't had a lot of experience with the final Tier 4s just because they're starting to come out, but in the initial analysis that we're seeing, the improved diesel economy of these final Tier 4 engines helps offset the additional cost of having to buy the diesel emission fluid. So you go back to Tier 3, there's less sensors and senders and potential computer things to go wrong, but there is some efficiencies that you gain going to the new, more efficient engine.
Can you explain the difference? The unit we bought in 2012 was Tier 4 interim. What's the difference between Tier 4 interim and Tier 4 final?
The difference between Tier 4 interim and Tier 4 final. Tier 4 interim, to attain that level of emissions, us and several other manufacturers added what was called a diesel oxidation catalyst and a particulate filter on there. Basically, it looks like an overgrown muffler and acts kind of like a catalytic converter on your cars and pickups. That got us to what was the EPA required interim Tier 4. To get to the next level, final Tier 4, in addition to the diesel particulate filter and diesel oxidation catalyst, we had to add a ammonia oxidation catalyst that breaks down the nitrous oxides, and that's where the diesel emission fluid comes in. So it's just another canister that's added on there, another tank for the DEF, and the dosing pump to inject it at the right point in time.
You gotta add DEF, like in one of my tractors, you take about 50 gallons of DEF to 400 or 500 gallons of fuel.
So what you're telling me, it takes more than baling wire to fix it.
There's more complicated. Any other questions?
Yeah. Do you lose much in terms of performance and horsepower with the more efficient Tier 4 final?
No, actually, the horsepower and the performance stays the same.
Exactly the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
How long do you think it takes for one of those things to take out a big dam?
It's a good sized unit, but you probably still need something that the mines have. Dynamite is a larger piece of equipment.
We have that equipment also.
Yeah,
It's not working underwater.
So we have a motion.
There's no water at the dam.
I'll make a motion that we accept the engineer's recommendation to purchase the wheel loaders from Murphy Tractor for $2,226. Whatever. $226,000.
Motion is second. Any other comments on that? Thank you, President Good. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 9 on the agenda is approve county engineer's recommendation. Well, the purchase is- Sorry about that.
And it was my turn.
Citizens' opportunity to address the board with items not on the agenda. Anybody from the citizens board? I'd like to welcome, introduce our new attorney.
Hans Becker, he's the new assistant in our office. I brought him over to meet everybody. So.
Welcome to what you're trying to do.
It's kind of better looking than the other Hans guys we get in here.
Yes, that's true.
Clean shaven, young, guys.
A little bit different looking than Hans.
Board of Supervisors committee reports.
Don't have any committee reports, but want to say that we're real excited about right coming here. That announcement, we'll be working with them as a board. So.
Yeah, I guess Mark and I went to that meeting in Rockville City last week for the Des Moines Water Works. That was very interesting. It's going to be a while before that gets settled, but it's going to be a lot of talking, so that's about what we're going to have.
Tomorrow, county engineer, Will, Steve Hosel, and Tim Allstott and I will be going down to transportation day at Capitol. You might want to keep an eye in the paper about that or on the news, in the media, in that additional input, pressure, or otherwise discussion is going to take place with various legislators there concerning the addition or the increase in gas tax. I would say that at the moment, from what I can read and hear, it's probably a 50-50 shot at this point. The nays simply have said that, look, if you're gonna raise some tax on one side, then you have to lower some tax over here. The other side says, look, we've got to do something about our roads, it really doesn't matter, get it done. So it'll be interesting to see how this rolls out very soon. Now, Governor Branstad, as you all know, is in the hospital. He was going to speak. Supposedly, he's to play a key role in this from behind the scenes. So everything's going to be put on hold in terms of that decision, I'm sure, for an extended period of time, maybe 2 weeks or whatever. But right now, this week is when they were giving that their attention, and it will have a direct bearing, of course, on Highway 20. It will have a bearing on repairs throughout the city. So anyway, we'll be spending the day down there. I do appreciate Randy being willing to go, as well as the other gentlemen. So
We appreciate you, Bob, going down to take care of all that. You've been a go-to person on Highway 20 for the last 20 years, so I guess I'll give you accolades on that. Thank you for doing that.
the list is pretty short.
Yeah.
Things you appreciate.
Thank you, Bob, for taking that on. Clark?
Just glad to see Bob back. And I will say that I want to report on Community and Family Resources has made a tremendous turnaround in the last 2 years and is a well-functioning service provider that is primarily operating in Webster County as well as 11 other counties providing services. And the good news is they've turned their cash flow situation around such that they are seriously looking at expanding and developing new facilities here in Fort Dodge, working in conjunction with County Social Services, providing crisis intervention for people with co-occurring incidences of substance abuse and mental health, and all of these things bode well for Fort Dodge and the citizens of Fort Dodge. So it's been a tough 2 years, but accolades to those individuals who stepped up in that organization and turned that thing around. So
That
mirrors for them.
That group is like 21, 22 counties, right?
That means CSS County Social Services,
Yeah.
yes.
And do you see that as staying the same, going larger, getting smaller?
County Social Services will probably stay the same.
That's a large group, that's why.
As a large group, but I believe that, we've kind of switched gears. Community and Family Resources is separate from County Social Services. But County Social Services is meeting tomorrow. I will pass on that meeting since we have budgets. But County Social Services is our mental health group region that Webster County belongs to. And it is a 22-county region. Much of Iowa's rural counties don't have a lot of people. Hence, I guess the value of a large region is have more, have more resources to be able to pull together and provide service. I do believe that tomorrow's meeting, they're doing things that Webster County wants them to do. And that's they're building the structure of organization that provides redundancy in their operation. So it is no longer one key man that is running the ship, which has been kind of a concern for Webster County. Now, they're putting people into place so that there are sub-levels of organization. Yes, it does create more overhead, but when you have something this large and something this many people, you need to have some more overhead to provide that redundancy. So those things are happening in my absence tomorrow. They're probably celebrating that I'm not coming tomorrow, but you will never ask me about it.
And back to the original point, are they expanding that?
CFR?
Yeah.
CFR wants to expand their facility, without a doubt. They're operating now in the old NCART building. It's not handicap accessible, limited amount of capacity, so they're looking to create a larger campus and provide service for all.
We are working with our budgets this week, as Clark said, so we'll be doing that all week, so if you have any interest in that. Working with our budgets, so motion to allow claims.
So moved.
board, he had him gone all month.
Which one's he?
Thank you, Bob, for attending. Mark's at a meeting, so that's why he's not here, so meeting over the LAC. So, first item on the agenda is approve the minutes of January 20th, 2015, regular meeting. So move.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Item 2 on the agenda is receive and place on file drainage repairs. We have none today. Item 3 on the agenda, approve hiring and employment of Kelsey Riley, case manager, effective February 2nd, 2015, at the rate of $17.60 per hour, and approve wage increase for Brittany Eastwood to $18.42 per hour, effective January 26th, 2015, per recommendation of Allison Hauser, case management supervisor.
Chairman, I'll move that. I'll second that.
A motion and a second. Any questions on salaries? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item 4 on the agenda, approve appointments and salaries for county recorder effective January 1st, 2015.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the appointments and set the salaries for the county recorder's office effective January 1st of this year.
Second?
A motion and a second. Any comments? Lindsay?
Thank you. Just a couple things. We are placing this on file, and I'm keeping everyone on in their current positions and their current salaries. If you need any other information, I have.
Mr. Singer has some questions on why you were doing that, so you want to explain that to him?
Carol?
That's not good, no. As a newly elected official, she reintroduces her office in the salaries. And we took care of the bonds earlier, and after a little time, she got it straight. So she's all good to go.
She's retaining everybody in her office.
Well, we haven't voted yet.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item 5 on the agenda is receive and place on file manure management plan updates for Webster Court in section 22, Clay Township, and HLG LLC in section 4, Dayton Township.
Mr. Chairman, I move item 5.
I'll second his motion, Mr. Chairman.
A motion is second. Any comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item 6 on the agenda, approve and authorize chair to sign flexible spending account 2015 master service agreement for flexible benefits plan and non-discrimination testing services by Wellmark Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Iowa effective January 1st, 2015, and addendum B to master services agreement flexible spending account.
I'll move item number 6. I'll second that.
A motion is second. Any good comment on all that?
Silence.
Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item 7 on the agenda, approve and authorize chair to sign amendment number 1 to the Community Attraction and Tourism Agreement number 11-013 between Vision Iowa Board and the City of Fort Dodge and Webster County Board of Supervisors.
Chairman, I move item number 7. Second.
A motion is second. Tony, you want to say anything about that?
Yeah.
State your name.
Tony Trotter, City Engineering Office, City Board of Engineering Office. This is basically just an extension of the deadline to make sure we can take all the grant money that's available for the OHV park. There's some items left for cleanup that are covered by the grant, so extending the deadline will enable us to utilize the whole grant.
Any questions for Tony on that? Thank you, Tony. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item 8 on the agenda is review vendor proposals to purchase wheel loaders.
Yes, you have a handout, I emailed to you earlier, and now you have one in front of you. And I think it's best, probably just read from it, and then everybody will get the whole understanding. The road department currently has owned 6 wheel loaders, and they range in age from 1984 to 2012. And I budgeted to purchase a new wheel loader in fiscal year 2016. Obviously, that starts July 1st of this year, with delivery and payment after July 14th or after that. So then, we've done this in the quotations for the new wheel loader are limited to Murphy Tractor Equipment, which sells John Deere, and Ziegler Incorporated, which sells Caterpillar. They're reputable in-town dealers. They provided the department with equipment parts, repair, and warranty service for several years. And it was my understanding that these vendors may have had a few wheel loaders remaining with less than Tier 4 final emissions, which could be a substantial cost savings. I believe the current level of EPA emissions is Tier 4 final. I understand there might be talk about Tier 5, but that's not required yet. And then in March of 2012, we took prices on almost identical specs and wheel loaders. And at that time, we bought a wheel loader from John Deere for $221,164. And then I have the proposals from Murphy summarized. They have a 2014 Tier 3 644K John Deere, it's $229,900, and they have a Tier 4 final 2015 that my understanding would probably be ordered and produced and delivered at $226,900. The sales manager for Murphy's is here if you want to understand why the Tier 3 would be more. I can quickly probably state that I was told that it's in their Murphy fleet, but it's in Cincinnati, Ohio, and it does not have all the exact equipment that we desired. In order for them to do so, they would have some expenses and so forth. I guess if we could order that Tier 3 from scratch, it'd probably be less expensive than their Tier 4.
Is there a performance difference?
I believe, believe it or not, with Tier 4 final, I think there are better performance, actual performance of the equipment going on now. I think the industry has figured out the emissions. I think the early era of the emissions, I think there was less power, less fuel efficiency. I believe the Tier 4 final has overcome some of that, but at a cost to purchase. And then I'm going to go to Ziegler's quote of for a 2015 Caterpillar 950M. There's this Tier 4 final is $239,614. So again, you know, to make a decision, the basis of the decision is based on price, parts, service support, resale value, analysis, comparison of specs, specification details, preventive maintenance and operating costs, and past experience. And I always want to point out that the county reserves the right to accept or reject any and all quotations, to waive technicalities, and to accept a proposal that appears in the best interest of Webster County. Again, we purchased a John Deere in 2012, and we've been very satisfied. You know, there's approximately $13,000 difference. We keep wheel loaders for quite a long time, 25, 30 years. When they get that old, I don't believe resale is a big factor anymore. So I'm going to recommend that Webster County purchase the 2015 John Deere 644 Tier 4 final wheel loader from Murphy in Fort Dodge in the amount of $226,900. If you have any questions, I'd be glad to attempt to answer.
We had some concerns with Murphy on their repairs, with stuff sitting there at the repair shop for a while. Has that been taken care of?
Wheel loaders have not been an issue. Yeah, I think there, you know, there's always been, there's been some concern, prior to, you know, whether you're here or in another county. I've experienced some concerns about downtime and the times of repairs, but that's primarily in my world has been involving motor graders. You know, probably leave it at that.